What's up, guys? Welcome back to WCS America. You're watching Group H. Excuse me, they sound similar, A and H, but they're not. H is the 14th letter, A is the first. Is H the 14th?
8th.
Probably not.
You're
How do
close.
you know that?
Well,
Did you just do that in your head?
well, it's
I hate
the way
you, Nick.
groups work, man.
Okay, that's very smart.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, so we're currently watching the first match of the night. It's Sage versus Sen. Sage taking game 1. Can he continue his success, or will Sen make a comeback? Game 2 is on Star Station.
You know what's really interesting is the fact that Sage didn't veto Star Station. Because this is a map where Protoss in general, they usually veto this in a series. But the fact that he didn't means he definitely has a plan for it. If you have a plan for Star Station, that means you're doing a 2-base timing pretty much. It's a great map for 2-base timing. It's a very difficult map for Protoss to take a third on. But Sen has to anticipate this. So will Sen play the same style he did game 1? That pure Zergling style with no roaches, no Zergling speed even, may be vulnerable to a 2-base timing. So maybe Sen will change things up.
Yeah, you say that, and I would agree, and I would also say that the composition that Sen was going for is initially, as far as the ultras and queens and lings, I feel like that's really good on Star Station. There's a lot of open space in the middle of the map, especially at your opponent's third, which is about like when you're getting those ultras out, you're kind of going to that third, and that's kind of where they're doing their sweeping claw stuff. You need that open space, get a lot of damage done. Here we are on game 2. It should be interesting to see what happens. The top left-hand location, I present to you your Taiwanese player from Team Gamma Bears. He needs to win 2 in a row here to advance to the winner's match of Group H, WCS America Challenger League. We have Sen. And his opponent in the bottom right-hand location, your blue Protoss player, playing a pretty darn good game number 1. Showing how much he loves the multi-pronged harassment, sending warp prisms everywhere, and eventually taking his opponent off guard. He's up 1-0 in this best of 3. He is Sage.
Again, going for that gateway opener, so we'll see what type of pressure he puts on after the expansion. The goal of the gateway opener is all about getting a side core fast. You delay the Nexus, you get the Cybernetics core fast. That can mean a faster Stalker, faster Mothership core, as well as faster Warp Gate, faster potential Stargate units if you want to use them. So we have a pause here real quick from Sen. But, of course, Sen will scout this. The Zerg Overlord will always go straight to the Protoss Natural off the bat. If it sees no Nexus there, sees no Forge and Pylon, it's going to know it's a gateway opener. Most Zerg players get speed when they see that.
They do.
But last game, Sid said, no, I'm going to take a third hatch anyway and just make a lot of Zerglings.
It's a bold move. It's bold. But it kind of worked, didn't it?
It did work. I think Sen was in a good position. I mean, he wasn't in an amazing position.
Right.
To make that many Zerglings, he had to, I think he cut drones at like 37 or so.
Yeah.
But again,
you're not getting a gas. That's 3 drones that would be on a gas, and a 4th that was turned into the gas that are actually staying on minerals.
Yeah. So overall, I think it did work out pretty well.
What do you think about like a spine at the 3rd?
That might have made things. I mean, he did make one later.
Okay.
Eventually, but yeah,
right when you scout the gateways.
He probably could have snuck in like 5 more drones if he had a spine core, and that would have made things a little bit easier. But he just wanted to maybe have the chance to overwhelm and overrun the army. And remember when he got the surround on the Zealots, the first surround, and he recalled out very early on.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if there wasn't a recall there and he killed all the Zealots, all of a sudden he just basically has total map control for the next few minutes. Looks like we're back in the game. Both players are ready. So whatever problem there was, it has been resolved.
Good.
It's nice to see.
So yeah, gateway opening here from Sage. I have to see what Sen does. What do you think about the map differences as far as if Sen goes for the same thing, like again, skipping the gas? Is it a big deal?
I think he could still do the same opening.
Okay.
I don't think he's gonna text right to Ultralist because Star Station is a map where as a Zerg player, you can kind of think one of 2 things. Well, either my opponent will try to do 2-base timing on me, in which case I may not want to try to tech so fast, right? Or my opponent is going to try to take a 3rd base, in which case Sen is a player who's very good at massing roaches, and Star Station with the openness, the openness
like
does make it, the openness is good for Ultras in the late game, but you could probably even take down a 3rd with just mass roach before it gets to that point. As long as there's not a whole ton of void rays on the field, which there usually can't be that early on. So I think we're likely to see him go the roach route on this map as opposed to the Zergling-based route, just because all the engagements are in giant open areas, where, of course, the threat to roaches is always force fields, and the more open it is, the less force fields there are going to be.
So we're seeing Sen doing the same thing. His Overlord scouting the timing of the Nexus. You know, he's like, okay, I know this is a gateway expand. And in a situation when a lot of Zerg players are like, oh, he's got a gateway expand, I'm going to take a gas, I'm going to get speed up so I feel a little bit safer. We're seeing once again Sen going for the third hatchery, not taking a gas just yet. So going to be relying on pretty much exclusively slowlings, queens, etc., non-gas units to deal with whatever comes at him. Now, I want to ask you, Nick, being a Protoss player, if you identify a Zerg player going gasless this long, and you're the one basically, you know, you're going for the gateway expand as Protoss, can you think of anything that would really abuse the fact that Sen is not going for that gas?
I mean, normally what I do is I kind of do exactly what Sage did last game. I would just try to warp in a lot of Zealots,
right,
and saying, okay, if you're just on Zerglings, the Zealots and the Demolition Pro are going to do pretty good work, but we saw what Sen did was able to, oh, nice little probe blocking the...
Ninja probe.
Blocking that
Brave
Zerg
probe.
getting out.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's doing it again, right? 3 more gateways being added up. Probe's now heading out, saying, you know what, I blocked that Zerg, now I'm going to go and build some proxy pylons. I think this attack will work most of the time, but we saw Sen was able to hold it. Was instrumental last game, them holding it, is he got so many queens. And the queens kind of fulfilled, they were basically like roaches that also dealt with the mothership core. So if you can get enough queens out in the field and get the creep between a natural and third so the queens can only have the mobility, I think it's going to be okay. But right now, the creep's not connected, and Sage is already kind of camping the area between the second and third.
Just a quick push. Very stressful indeed here for Sen. Make a spine crawler. I'd let that guy finish. I know he probably made it to conserve the drone, but I would definitely let that guy finish. He saw the gateways. 3 queens marching forward trying to deal with that stalker. Let's see how Sage approaches it this time. Again, same kind of situation as last game. Twilight Council behind this, so we might see the same exact opening from Sage here.
12 more Zerglings on the way, so I think Sen knows what's up. Of course, he scouted the lack of gases at the natural with an Overlord, so he knows his opponent is really devoting a lot to the Zealot pressure, so he can go ahead and just build a ton of Zerglings.
I think this Twilight's going to be scouted here from by Sen. Overlord is going in that direction. The other Overlord is really close to it, too.
Oh, if he sees that Twilight, that's huge. He'll know exactly the same opening. He's trying to run down and surround the Zealot. Oh, he's seen a Twilight.
Okay, he does. He sees it.
And he's deflecting this attack. So far, no drones have been lost. Of course, he doesn't have a huge economy. He's only on 36 drones against, I think his opponent probably has roughly the same amount of workers there. But once he gets the Zerglings, enough Zerglings out that he feels comfortable defending, he can go and build probes like a maniac. Or drones, excuse me.
Right. You know, Sage, again, is not trying to kill his opponent. This is all about just trying to keep him making units, not making drones, and trying to be sneaky with the Dark Shrine. However, I'm really intrigued by... Well, okay, the Overlord's going to the left first. I would have almost gone to the right to verify that Twilight is still there. But he's going to the left first, just check in that if this pylon that's powering the gateways is powering anything else. As you see the Zerglings trying to get us around the Zealots.
Oh, with the Queens behind there, actually, the Zealots are not going to trade very efficiently. He's going to recall out, but he's going to just take a lot of damage on the Zealots, not losing too many.
Oh, and the Overlord's, because of that recall, the Overlord's not going to be able to make it back.
He has seen the timing of the third and fourth gas, and that should tell him it's Dark Templar. If your opponent is going Blink, which would be the other option with that Twilight Council really at that time, then of course they're going to need a lot of gas because while Blink and Dark Shrine both cost the same amount of gas, with Blink you need to make a ton of Stalkers. Because with the Dark Shrine you can make mostly Zealots and just a few Dark Templar.
Yep.
And make it be useful in that way.
Here we see the Speedlings sprinting across the map. Going to check on the progress of the third. No third just yet, and we got Spore Crawlers in production, Mr. Nick. So
he knows exactly what's going on.
He knows exactly what's happening.
He's also denied all the proxy pylons. Of course, there is a probe at the top. Oh wait, no, I think he's missed.
There's one that he's missing, and that's actually pretty important.
That's all it takes, right?
That's where Dark Templars are warped in, right?
Yep. It's funny. All it takes is one pylon.
Oh, that Zergling did not fulfill his duty of killing that probe before it made the Nexus, but he knows about the existence of the Nexus. But the tricky part is, again, it's like the same situation as last time. Keeping units back home to deal with the DTs versus going to try... Oh, it's canceled.
Yeah, which, I mean, it was about to be canceled by all these speedings running across the map anyway, but right now, the speedings across the map, Sen doesn't have too much to defend his frontal attack. There's DTs coming in, they're going to scout the defenses, and when they don't see too much...
Charge on the way.
Yeah, this could be...
You can turn on Archons, you can turn on Archons, just go.
It's a very, very committed attack. Remember, 1-1 is a little bit slower this game as opposed to last game. Those Zerglings are not going to be upgraded.
Wow, what a cool build. And again, there's only Zerglings. So if we're talking about Zealots, DTs, Archons, they're all pretty darn good against Zerglings.
Those Zerglings thought they could take that army, and all of a sudden they'll start dying Didn't realize there was 4 DTs in that composition, one-shotting those Zerglings during the battle. He's getting more and more Zerglings. He has a Roach Warren. I'm a little surprised he's not making Roaches when he sees that type of attack coming at him.
Yeah.
3 Archons, it's going to be so
Once
tough.
you see the canceled third, you should know exactly what's going on, I think. But again, 40 Lings, Sage needs to identify, okay, are Lings coming out or are Roaches? Obviously, if he sees a lot of Lings, make nothing but Zealots. But Sen has a lot of Lings on the field. Is it going to be enough? Force Field's going down, trying to minimize that surface area the Lings can get. Time Warp going down as well, but Sage getting a lot of damage done with these Zealots and Archons. Again, the unit composition is not there for Sen, and Sage is looking so good in this game. More and more Zealots coming forward. I think he's poised to take the 2-0.
Oh man, this is such a strong army from Sage.
There it
Sen
is.
GG's.
Wow.
No Banings, no Roaches, no way to get through those Zealots and at the Archons as fast as he needed to.
Yeah.
Sage, a really nice crafted build there with the Zealot pressure into DTs. Even though he had detection,
Yeah.
he just turned with the Archons and turned into a 2-base push.
A lot of it looked a lot like game 1, and it like the beauty with the build from Sage is like as it goes along, you have the ability to be flexible. You can change it at any moment. So it was a situation where I'm trying to think like what like I guess the DT being scouted. I guess the Dark Strike getting scouted, meaning that he couldn't get a lot of damage done with the Dark Templars. So he's like, okay, if I can't get damage done with Dark Templars, let's change this up a bit. Let's get charged, let's fake a third, and let's make Archons and go kill him.
That's right. You know, I think he kind of recognized the build send in game 1.
Yes.
He said, you know what, if instead of getting the robotics in the third base, right, instead of those 2 techs, if I just added 3-4 more gateways, how's he going to stop it with just Zerglings? And he's not making anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he had a Roach Horn, right? He has the ability to make Roaches.
He just didn't identify the build fast enough.
You know, Roach Speed and there's charge lots.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Like,
without Roach Speed, charge lots and Archons.
Charge lots are good, man. We have this conversation a lot. We have weekly meetings and decide what's the most underused unit, and consensus says Zealot most of the time.
Zealots are amazing, man. They really do work there. You know what Sen was trying to do? I think he recognized that without Roach Speed, like you said,
right,
they might not do so well. He was trying to get a baiting nest. But it was
good
like
point.
3/4 of the way done when attack hit or something like that.
Okay.
If he got like 8 Banings, if you kill the Zealots quickly, Zerglings will actually destroy Archons if they can get in on them. The problem is there's too much of a meat shield with the charge lots.
Yeah, charge lots.
The attack just hit right before
Yes.
the Banings could actually come into the picture. So.
You know, again, we're seeing a lot of players go for this Ling style, and the Baneliness, helps a bunch with that. Like, again, a 1.5 tier unit, you can just turn your guys into Banelings, and guess how threatening Zealots are when Banelings are in play. They're not that threatening. So, guys, that's going to do it for Game 1. Sage taking the 2-0 over Sen, so Sage will be advancing on to the winner's match, and Sen is going to be dropping to the loser's match. Coming up next, guys, is going to be Phoenix versus Oz. You're watching WCS America Challenger League Group H. Stay tuned.